Hello! In this game we will look at the importance of the center and space. I have white, my opponent has black. Let's watch. e4, e5, knight g3, knight g6, c3, c6, knight c2, bishop b6, d4. I have been making developing moves, fighting for the center and grabbing the space of the 5 moves. d6, f4, increasing the pressure in the center. Bishop c7. The opponent has made second move by the developed piece at the beginning of the game, despite the fact that he is playing as black. It means that he chose bad square for his bishop from the outside. In the current position, white has the advantage. Good pawn center, more developed pieces, more space, and there are good opportunities to set up other pieces harmoniously. Knight e3. There has been only little benefit of the knight on c2, so I have transferred it closer to the hub of activity. I continue to hold the strong center and space. After the castle, I was thinking which minor piece need to improve now. I was choosing between knight g2 f5, knight e2 e5, and bishop to b3. The bishop has maximum number of squares at its place, so I have decided that the bishop can wait. It remained to choose which of the knights will put on f5. I have chosen knight g2 f5. For reasons to leave free g4 square for the other knight. My knights on g4 and on f5 put more pressure on f6 and h6. I said that my opponent would have forced to weaken mentioned squares by g7 to g6. Bishop takes f5, exchange. Black doesn't want to wait for appearance of second knight in the vicinity of his king. Knight takes f5, queen f6. In this position, white can wait by different ways. For example, to transfer the rook via third rank to g-file. Or make the useful move is to transfer the bishop to the a2 g8 diagonal. Bishop b3, d5. It's bad, but neither moves save black. Before d5, black had 2 developed pieces, bishop and queen. But after d5, white has shut off the opponent's bishop on c7 by e5. Knight b6. Opponent suddenly has remembered the development, but too late. The transfer of the rook on third rank lets white finish the game faster. But my move, queen g5, also saves enough advantage to win. Rook e3. The rook has come out to third rank with a delay. Bishop d8. Queen h6, a threat of checkmate on g7. This tactic trick is to set up the pin on the g-file. So for example, g takes f5, rook g3 check, queen g6, queen takes f5, and if my opponent take the rook on g3, I would play h takes g3, and now I have big advantage. But if my opponent doesn't take the rook, and play, for example, a6, then rook f6, bishop takes f6, e takes f6, and now I'm threatening to give a checkmate on g7 with the queen. So mate is unavoidable. So after my move, queen h6, my opponent played bishop to f6. Blunder. After this blunder, black gets checkmated early. Rook h3. So black resigns. There is no defense to mate. Conclusion. By the example of this game, I have showed you how important the center and space. I want to cite a passage. The importance of the center in chess is great. It's like the only height on any area of the military front during the war. Who holds the height firmly has a strategic advantage and prerequisite for the successful completion of the military operation on this military foothold. If one of sides holds the center, then the forces of the other side are often disunited or constricted. It significantly reduces their fighting efficiency. This yields the principle of fighting for the center. It means that at the beginning of the game we don't develop our pieces randomly, but with the understanding value of the central squares. We have to try to occupy the strategic height with our troop. The strategic height means center. Or we have to create a pressure along the lines passing through the central squares. And we have not to let our opponent to occupy the center, or we have to remove opponent's forces from it. An important role in this fight is assigned to the weakest fighting units, our pawns. Pawns attacking central squares make them unapproachable for opponent's pieces, and pawns supporting their troop are able to sweep everything away of their way. On the other hand, the pieces which don't have supporting point won't be able to fight successful against impending avalanche of pawns without pawn construction in the opening. After this quart, there is almost nothing to say about the center. Much of what has been said about the center is applicable to the space. Fight for the center, grab the space, hold the center and space. That's all. Goodbye.